Hi there, or welcome to another episode of Small Astrology, where we are looking at the sun signs of small humans and seeing what tricks and tips we can learn about them to parent them to the best of our ability. Because as I say, they have come into this world with more emotional intelligence than any of us could have ever hoped for, and it is our job to make sure we are giving them the best of us that we can in a way that their souls truly understand. So let's get into it. Scorpio is I empower energy. It's a fixed water sign and it feels things very deeply. Now, this is a mysterious, strong-willed, very intuitive energy. And babies of this sign often are very quiet, and even the older children will appear very calm. It's that energy of being that innocent lamb on the outside, but often having a little treacherous, dangerous predator on the inside, that we really have the opportunity to help grow into a hero or into a villain, depending on how they are raised. Now, they do love and respect strength. So the parents really need to make it clear who is in charge of this family. Otherwise, you will risk being manipulated because of the intuitive nature of these children and their need for strength. Now, they will discover all of the family secrets and anything else you try to hide from them. Scorpio energy is the energy of secrets, and with their intuition, they will figure it all out. And that intuition also helps them learn how to find an approach with people. You will see that they are very observant and they learn people very quickly. And this is that kind of energy of a child who will figure out the best ways to entice you to buy them candy, entice you to take them where they want to go. They are very good at that level of manipulation. They can speak to exactly the parts of you that need to be spoken to. Now, they do expect a lot of care and attention. Scorpio energy runs deep with emotions, and any perceived lack of care in their needs is something that they do suffer from emotionally, but they will never show you that. This is that sort of child where the quieter they are, and you start to think, oh, they didn't have a problem with that. They definitely had a problem with that, because they're often very cool and calm and collected on the outside, but the emotional roller coaster running very deep. So, that extra quiet, giving you the silent treatment kind of energy is a huge sign of extreme emotions going on underneath. And that deep emotional side in the primitive Scorpio energy very easily can swing from sulking or to smiling. And we need to remember that Scorpio is also the sign of revenge. So when we look at the early years of Scorpio is a masculine energy. So they sort of come into the world with a lot of masculine energy, knowing how to take action, wanting to be the leader. They do repress those emotions because of this masculine energy, which does make them feel weak if they are seen to be emotional. So it does kind of make you as a parent needing to be more observant to catch subtle vibrations, subtle signs of them, that they are quite troubled. And they will have, because of this masculine energy that they come into the world with, a lot of feelings of protection over the family, especially the mother and any younger siblings. So feminine energy really needs to be taught to them when they're babies, because they come into the world in the masculine energy. Now, Scorpio, while it is an impossible child not to notice because of how mysterious they come across, it can be really difficult to make friends with a Scorpio child, because even though they are pleasant and very good at communicating, they hide a bit of a dangerous sting. And if we are offending a Scorpio, particularly a child, this is the energy of making a sworn enemy. And this revenge underlying sting vibe that a Scorpio has, they will harbor that with a smile on their face. And as soon as it is the right moment, they will take revenge, and that is something they are very good at. Taking revenge is quite an exquisite act for a Scorpio. And that underlying energy of vengeance and vindictive nature can really come out at any time that you are not expecting it. Now, the Scorpio child is also usually an introvert, very loyal to the family and friends that they allow into their circle. But to other people, they can come off as quite impolite, quite indifferent. Sometimes people would describe them as cruel, particularly if they see the other person as weaker than them. And it's really important to teach them how to be considerate of other people's feelings. They do harbor, again, with that Scorpio energy being happy in the taboo, some sadistic tendencies. And often you can see them doing little moral experiments on their closest friends because that intuitive nature, again, they're very good at it. They can pick out of people what the best experiments could be. They also very quickly learn to use necessary masks to hide their true feelings. And they are very suspicious, even from childhood. They are very afraid of betrayal, conspiracy, people being mean to them. And sometimes as children, they will see like there is just danger everywhere. And so because of that, they very quickly learn to solve their own problems. Now, they love the truth. So you have to be aware of that, and you have to be as honest as you can with them, because again, that intuitive nature, that little mysterious mystery seeker will know if you are not being honest with them, and they cannot be fooled by flattery. This is not the child that you can just flatter and have them run off, okay? They do crave well-deserved praise, but flattery is not in that category. Now, health-wise, their nerves are not very strong. So any method of violent kind of upbringing can really break them mentally and emotionally. And they are at high risk because of this heightened level of, the nervous system being quite high set. Infectious diseases as well, they can catch them very quickly because, as we've seen in a number of the other videos, and as we can see every day in our lives, the more heightened our stress is, the more susceptible we can be to infections. So things like bronchitis and pneumonia tend to be listed as high risk for Scorpio children. They are quite hardy though, so on the other side of an illness, they tend to recover quite quickly. It's just that they are quite susceptible to catching things. Now, when we're looking at school, they're very good at school. They can be very patient and very dedicated, but they will not work well under pressure. So do not be the sort of parent continuously asking them what they're going to be when they grow up. There can be no pressure around that. They will intuitively know when it comes to them. Now, sometimes at school, they won't show their best qualities, even though they are very good at school. And, this is because of that sadistic need to run experiments on classmates, and that you can often be seen terrorizing them or, trying to pick and see what sort of emotional reactions they can get from people. They do learn very well at school though. They often have very high intelligence, again with that intuition, and a very good work capacity when they do put their minds to it. Now, at home, they could require a separate room just to be alone with themselves. You often find Scorpio children, Scorpio people as well, very, very much need alone time and solitude in order to work through those deep emotional states. You need to talk with these Scorpio children on equal terms, and they really do need to feel like a full member of the family. So making sure that you are explaining all the rules and all the guidelines and everything to them, because they are going to chase a mystery if there are no unanswered questions. They need a very calm and harmonious environment and a very friendly family world because they are quite suspicious. Now, it is necessary to be a bit strict on the principles of education, again, so that they can tap into that really great ability to learn if they can release that need to do these little emotional experiments on people. And really don't indulge in any of their bad deeds or aggressive antics, because as we look at these children's charts, we need to realize that they are coming into the world with energies that we do not need to teach. So we don't need to be teaching them a lot of this masculine energy quality, and we do not need to be teaching them, that it's okay to break the rules. They already come with that. We need to be teaching them the positives of the feminine nature and the positives of being more aware that the rules are there for a reason. So we need to be teaching things like mercy and kindness, polite communication, forgiving their friends for faults, and really to not put people above their own pride and selfishness. Now, we need to be offering praise to them when we notice that they are being generous with their friends, when they are being kind and showing mercy. That is when we need to be praising a Scorpio child. Now, we need to be very careful about two things, and that's Scorpio and boredom. Because anytime they are left to their own devices and they are getting bored, they're going to go into the deep shadows of their mind, and this is when they will start thinking up these experiments to run on their friends. That is the kind of mind of a Scorpio. So let's make sure that they have hobbies that keep them busy and entertained, particularly in the mystery category. So if they feel restrained and stopped and held back, this is where you will get the angry at the world vibe, and this is when the revenge will come out. So we really need to make a Scorpio a worthy person and inspire them into being their unique and talented selves. And that this gift that they've been given of, wanting to search out mysteries, of having these deep emotional states, are because they have an important mission in life. It's very important to teach them sort of deep philosophical reasons for who they are and what their part could be in the world, because they will be searching for those mysteries even if you are not speaking to them about it. And teaching them that they need other people is very important. Scorpio is very happy on its own. It's much more happy with animals, to be honest, and you can see that a lot in Scorpio adults. And we really need to teach them that they need humanity for humanity's unique gifts, really pulling into that energy of everyone has a different gift, because that helps the Scorpio child, one, understand their own unique gifts that need to be given to the world, and also understand that they need people in their lives. Because, Scorpio children will tend to harbor fears and insecurities. This is another reason why they pull back from humanity and prefer to go to animals. So they need a lot of reassurance from parents, and they need to be constantly reassured that everything is okay, because they see things a lot in the darkness, a lot of suspicion, Scorpio energy. And without that reassurance, they can definitely spiral with that deep emotional water sign. So really understanding that things like physical affection are very important for Scorpio children. Hugs and affection, but in their own way. So that is allowing them to be cuddled for as long as they will tolerate, but always releasing when they need to be released, okay? Now, they are very interested in mysteries, in magic. This is the sort of child that likes the darkness, likes retreating into hiding. And games like hide and seek, hiding things from them, anything that's mysterious will really pique their interest. Allowing them to find ways to disappear, teaching them magic, allowing them to put detective hats on when you've, say, lost your keys, that is something that a Scorpio child will very much enjoy. All of the fantastical things in the world. Now, they will try and dominate you. They will try and dominate other children, because they do tend to develop a very unnerving stare, and they tend to have a lot of boundless energy when they're in this masculine leader dominating space. So make sure that you understand they are always going to play to win. So do not parent them the same way that you might another child and make everything a competition, because they are going to do that anyway. They are highly competitive, and they will challenge all the rules and all the boundaries. And when you are disciplining them, you need to be very firm but very gentle, because they have a fantastic memory. And if you are using a tone that is not gentle and you offend the Scorpio, again, you are making an enemy, and revenge can come at any time you are not looking. Now, the upside of this darkness of a Scorpio is that we can really lean into the taboo, the things that we might find disgusting and weird, and we can lean into those mysterious things in order to teach them about things like toilet training, about things like cleaning up and that sort of stuff. We can lean into the mysteries of that. So you really need to allow them space to go deeply into things, even if they're stuff that you find disgusting, okay? Now, just remembering always that Scorpio wants to chase mystery and wants to be comfortable in taboo places. So this isn't a child that you can lightly coat over the questions that they are asking. They want to know like a detective wants to know. So prepare yourself for the questions that you will get from a Scorpio child, and be aware that any indifference that you might show to their questions or any dishonesty that can be shown will be very intuitively noticed, and you may not see that on their face, okay? So I think the most important part to take away from this is that they might look calm and like they don't need a lot of assistance with their emotional state, but this is one of those signs that will emotionally repress, particularly within those younger years. It is very important to allow them space to be emotional and to provide a lot of that physical affection. They are one of the signs most likely to experience intense emotions, and also one of the signs most likely to bottle those up. So physical affection really offers a positive way to make them feel safe and loved, but also respecting their right to privacy. So really teaching them that they don't have to hug anyone they don't want to. They don't have to share secrets with anyone that they don't want to, and really empowering them to be able to lean into the relationships that they trust and that they value. Scorpio is 8th house energy. It wants to build long-term relationships on an intimate, deep, emotional bond level. Another side note, if you have an older Scorpio child moving into their teenage years, Scorpio also is the energy of sexual energy. And so it is really important to educate these children quite early on. They are old souls and they can understand things a lot sooner than what you think they can. So really be aware of that. If you have them coming into, 11 and 12-year-olds, you really need to start being aware of their natural and innate feelings towards that dark, taboo kind of spicy town stuff. And you really need to be aware of their cravings for that sort of information and that sort of experience. It's deeply embedded in them. And with that masculine energy of taking initiation and leadership, if you don't teach it to them, they will find out. Detective solved mystery children, okay? They will find out. So do not shy away from these conversations when they are brought up by the child. Make sure you have a plan in place, and make sure if there is more than one parent around that you are both saying the same truth to the child, because their memories, their intuitive natures, and their craving to solve a mystery, they will pick a lie, they will pick an imbalance in the information that they are being told very quickly. That's all I've got for you today. Make sure you cuddle those Scorpio babies. Speak quietly to them. Be very firm though. Be very firm. They will only respect a leader in the family environment. And if you do not want them to step up to be that leader, then you need to stay in your power. If you are interested in having a birth chart reading for your children, please hit me up on my website. I have a few specials up at the moment to get the best out of this energy that we have at the end of the year, which is quite intense. Make sure you like and subscribe and follow along on the Astro Weather. If you are on your journey to getting to know yourself, if you would like any assistance, please let me know. And until next time, stay weird.